Hello, friends. I welcome you all to this weekly session of current affairs. And today we are going to see the important events from 9th August to 16th August. So, first of all, one important news is in our neighborhood, that is Sri Lanka. So, Mahinda Rajapakse has taken oath as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Now, he was the former president of Sri Lanka and he has been twice the president of Sri Lanka, and this will be his third term as prime minister. So, Sri Mahinda Rajapaksa has taken oath as prime minister of Sri Lanka. This is one of the important news last week. Another is that Bangladesh has decided to construct a war memorial for Indian soldiers who were killed in 1971 war. Now in 1971 there was Operation Searchlight which was conducted by the against East Pakistan, that is today Bangladesh, by the West Pakistan, which is the present day Pakistan. Now, in this, the aim of this Operation Searchlight was to flush out the persons or the Bengali independence movement which was carried on. So, what happened is that there was mass genocide that was conducted by the army of East Pakistan. Now, as a goodwill gesture, India assisted in the independence or liberation of Pakistan of Bangladesh from the Pakistan. So, in remembering that, the Bangladesh government has now decided to construct a war memorial for Indian soldiers who were killed in 1971 war. Now, what is important is that where is this war memorial being constructed? So this war memorial is being constructed in Ashuganj, that is Brahmanbaria, bordering the Tripura of our country. So that is one news. Another important news is that the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. This has started the first silk training cum production center, and it has been set up in Arunachal Pradesh. So the first of its kind training as well as production center of silk in has been started by the Khadi and Village Industries Commission in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Now, India is the second largest producer of silk in the world, and we produce all the four varieties of silk, namely mulberry, oak, tasar, eri, and muga. And of this, the maximum amount is that of mulberry, which accounts for almost 75%, that is 74.51%. So, the thing to be remembered is that Khadi and Village Industries Commission has set up its first silk training cum production center in state of Arunachal Pradesh. Next, one map related work is there, map related news is also there, that is Mount Sinabung. Now, Mount Sinabung is in North Sumatra. Sumatra is an island of Indonesia. Now, Indonesia's capital is Jakarta. So, as you see in this box, it is shown that Mount Sinabung is there, and near to it there is Lake Toba. So they may, if they skip that what is the position or the location of Mount Sinabung, they may even ask that what is the location of lake or in which country Lake Toba is located. So please remember that there is one Mount Sinabung and it is in the north of Sumatra Island of Indonesia, and it was dormant for last 400 years, but recently since 2010 it has erupted. In 2010 it erupted, thereafter it erupted in 2014, and now again in 2020. Now, this Mount Sinabog is a part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. Now, Pacific Ring of Fire is an area or contained in the Pacific Ocean where volcanic eruption and earthquake occurs, and almost around 90% of world earthquake occurs in this region. This is because of the plate tectonic movements. So what is to be remembered is that Mount Sinabog, which was a dormant volcano since last 400 years, and this is the third time that it has erupted. Its location is very important. It is located in North Sumatra Island of Indonesia. Now, August 12 has been celebrated as World Elephant Day. Now, this idea was conceived by two filmmakers. One is Canadian Patricia Sims and another is Michael Clark of Thailand. Now, this is dedicated to preserve and protect the world elephants. So every year, August 12 is celebrated as the World Elephant Day. Now, the idea was to create awareness so as to save the elephant of Asia and Africa. The African elephants are listed as vulnerable and Asian elephants are endangered in the list of threatened species. Now, the first World Elephant Day was celebrated in 2012. Now, India is also a part of it, and therefore, on this day, that is August 12, a national portal called Suraksha has been started. Now, this portal will give the real-time information about human and elephant conflict, which will try to reduce the conflict among the humans and the elephant. Now, if we see the elephant census, it is conducted once in every 5 years. Now, another news is regarding Project Cheetah. Because of the tensions which are prevailing on the Chinese border, the Project Cheetah has been revived. A new formed high-level defense ministry committee was formed under Ajay Kumar. It is also called Shri Ajay Kumar Committee. Shri Ajay Kumar is the defense secretary. Now, what is to be done under this Project Cheetah is that there are 90 Heron drones. Now, these drones were earlier deployed to find out the troop buildup on the border. It is also used for surveillance purpose. Now, these 90 Heron drones now be upgraded with laser guided bombs and air launched anti-tank guided missiles so that the border security can be strengthened. Now, one important point which is to be noted is that we have got this Heron drones from Israel. So, Project Cheetah has been revived. Another is a very important judgment of Supreme Court of India, which was given on August 11, 2020. There was a three-judge bench which was headed by Justice Arun Mishra. And what they have ruled is that even when father has died before the enactment of Hindu Succession Act, Amendment Act 2005, yet the daughters will have equal right in the parental property as that of son. Now, to explain it, just to give you a brief overview, that there is a Hindu Succession Act 1956. Now, this law codifies as to how the property will be distributed if a person dies intestate, that is, without making a will. And it is applicable among Buddhists, Hindus, Jains, and Sikhs. Now, that is what it says, that how there will be a inheritance or succession of property where a person has died without making a will. Now, in 2005, an amendment was brought in this act, and this amendment gave equal right to son as well as daughter in the property of their father. Now, the question was that whether this law will be applicable on persons whose father has died on 2000 and when this act came into or this amendment came into force. This question has now been solved by the Supreme Court, and it said that even when father has died before the enactment of Hindu Succession Act 2005, yet the daughters will get equal right in the parental property as that of son. That is, this law would now even have a retrospective effect. Next is that Tribal Freedom Fighters Museum, which is being developed by Government of India. Now, this is a unique step which is taken by Government of India in order to recognize the contribution of the tribals leader in the Indian freedom struggle. Now, there are 9 tribal fighter museums which are to be established by 2022, and they will be dedicated to freedom fighters of the tribal clan. Now, where all these 9 museums are to be built up? One is Rajpipla in Gujarat, and this will be the largest of all the 9 museums which is to be built. Another is that Kelsey in Mizoram, and this will be dedicated to Rani Gendulu, who was a Manipuri freedom fighter or tribal freedom fighter. So the other 5 are, one is in Ranchi, that is Jharkhand, another is Raipur in Chhattisgarh, Lambasgini in Andhra Pradesh, Kozhikode in Kerala, Hyderabad in Telangana, Chhindwara in Madhya Pradesh, and Senapati in Manipur. So please remember there are 9 in total, 9 tribal freedom fighter museums to be developed. Now they will have 3D as well as 7D holographic projections, and they are built on the line of Manav Sangrahalaya Museum, which is in Bhopal, and Virasate Khalsa Museum, which is in Punjab. So if the location of Manav Sangrahalaya Museum is asked, so it is in Bhopal, and Virasate Khalsa Museum is in Punjab. Another news which was in headlines was that of Kamala Harris. She is an Indian origin who has been nominated as US Vice Presidential candidate. All of us know that at the end of this year, by November 2020, the US presidential elections are to be held. And in this, against Donald Trump, who is the sitting president, Joe Biden is going to fight for the presidentship, and from the party of Joe Biden for the vice presidentship, Kamala Harris has been selected. Now, she will be the first black woman and the first person of Indian origin to be nominated for the national office of US. Another is that background, as far as her background is concerned, she was district attorney from San Francisco and former attorney general of California. Next is August 12th, which has been celebrated as International Youth Day. So this is celebrated by United Nations and other organizations throughout the world. And for the first time, International Youth Day was celebrated in 1999. The theme for this year was Youth Engagement for Global Action. So all of us know that by 2030, agenda of sustainable development goals which have been set up by United Nations are to be achieved. Now, this year, the International Youth Day focused on how to make youth contribute in achieving this agenda of sustainable development goals. Next is PM Samnidhi scheme. Now, this is a unique scheme which has been launched by the Prime Minister, and what it stands for, first of all, let us see this. PM stands for Pradhan Mantri, and S stands for street, V stands for vendor, A stands for Atm, N stands for Nirbhar and Nidhi. So it is PM Samnidhi means Pradhan Mantri Street Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi. Now, under this scheme, what is that the government aims to provide a loan up to 10,000 rupees to this street vendors. So, a loan up to 10,000 is to be provided to these street vendors under this scheme. Now, this scheme has been launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and the aim is to facilitate loan up to give loan to at least 50 lakh street vendors. So 50 lakh street vendors in urban area, rural area, or semi-urban area. The aim is to to give achieve this target, and interest subsidy of 7% per annum will also be provided to them. Now, what is important is that why it was in news is that that the target is 50 lakh street vendors are to be given loan, and already 5 lakh loan applications have been received. So next is that what the two major announcements which have been made by Pradhan Mantri ji on 15th August 2020 from the ramparts of Red Fort. Now, one is National Digital Health Mission. So, National Digital Health Mission, what it aims is that every Indian will get a health ID card. Now, this identity card will contain all the relevant information about person's past medical conditions, treatment, and diagnosis. Now, this program will be conducted under Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, or what is popularly known as Ayushman Bharat. Now, this card will help in providing teleconsultation and e-pharmacies. That is, now person, if he has got some minor problem, he need not go to doctor all the time. Through the iCard which he has, which can be digitally assessed, the health facility can be provided. So door-step delivery of health facility will be provided through this National Digital Health Mission. Another major announcement which was made by Pradhan Mantri ji on 15th August 2020 was that optic fiber linking of Lakshadweep Island. So Lakshadweep Island will be linked with the mainland India through the optic fiber linking. Already a program to connect the Chennai Port Blair, that is Chennai and Port Blair, which is in Andaman and Nicobar, through this optic fiber link is being implemented. This will provide, or this will give a boost to 4G mobile services as well as digital services such as e-governance, telecom education, tourism, telehealth in these islands, which is both on the east as well as west side of Indian mainland. Next, which is important international news, and geopolitically it is more important, is that Israeli and United Arab Emirates peace pact. Now, there is a tension, or is a prolonged tension between Israel and the surrounding Arab as well as Gulf countries. This is because of the creation of Israel and Palestine. There has been many wars between these countries, but slowly, by the influence of America, what has happened is that Israel has got into a peace agreement with United Arab Emirates. Earlier, Israel has got peace agreement with Egypt, and Israel has got peace agreement with Jordan. With Egypt, it got into a peace agreement in 1979 itself. With Jordan, which is on its eastern side, it has got into peace agreement in 1994. Now, Saudi United Arab Emirates will be the first Gulf country to sign a peace accord with the Israel. And in this, what they will do is that the thing which Israel has promised is that they will now no longer make any uh, permanent construction on the West Bank, which is sandwiched between Israel and Jordan, and UAE will has agreed to give recognition to the Israel, and this will also boost the telecommunication, tourism, energy, security, and healthcare services between both the countries. Now, this will this is also done in the backdrop of the Iran as well as US crisis or US tension, which is increasing day by day. So what US is trying to do is that US is trying to consolidate its position in the Middle East so that it can pressurize Iran on its turf. Now, another important news from agriculture is that India ranks first in organic farming. So, as per Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, India ranks first in the organic farming. And as far as the area under organic farming is concerned, India ranks ninth in the world. Now, here one important fact is that Sikkim is the first state in the world. I repeat, Sikkim is the first state in the world to become completely organic, and the other states who have achieved this target include Uttarakhand and Tripura. Now, two programs have been started by Government of India so as to assist farmers in adopting organic farming. One of it is Mission Organic Value Chain Development for the Northeast region, and another is Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Now, another is that Atal Tunnel. Now, Atal Tunnel, which will be joining Leh to Manali and will be reducing the difference between Manali and Leh by 46 kilometer, will begin or will be inaugurated by the end of September 2020 by the Prime Minister. This tunnel will be of a length of 8.8 kilometer, and it will provide a better connectivity to military in the Siachen Glacier and Aksai Chin. Now, the history of this tunnel dates back to 1860 when there was a Moravian mission which called for to build for this tunnel. But later on, this tunnel itself got into a tunnel program, and it was only after 139 years that Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee brought in this proposal again, and the Border Road Organization, that is BRO, was entrusted to construct the tunnel. Initially, it was named as Rohtang Tunnel, as this is built under the Rohtang Pass, and but because of the contribution by Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee in bringing about this tunnel, it has been renamed as Atal Tunnel. Next is important news, that is Mauritius oil spill. So what had happened last week is that there was a Japanese bulk carrier which got collided with the coral reefs along the border of the Mauritius, in the maritime waters of the Mauritius. As a result, there was oil spillage, and Mauritius has to declare emergency because of leak of this 1,000 tons of fuel in the Indian Ocean. Now, as a part of the mission Sagar, India has sent 30 tons of technical equipment and material to Mauritius in order to contain the oil spill. Now, this mission Sagar is important. First of all, let us see what this mission Sagar stands for. So, mission Sagar stands for security growth for all in the region. So, security and growth for all in the region. So, all the maritime countries which are bordering India should have security as well as growth. One, it will enhance the economic cooperation among the India's maritime nations, and secondly, it will also increase or consolidate the Indian position vis-a-vis the Chinese pearl of a string policy. So that's all in this week. Let us have a quick overview as to what all we have covered this week. So first is that Sri Mahinda Rajapaksa has taken oath as Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Now Bangladesh has decided to construct a war memorial for Indian soldiers who were killed in 1971. It is to be constructed in Ashuganj, Brahmanbaria, bordering Tripura. Next is that Khadi and Village Industries Commission will set up its first training cum production center of silk in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Then Mount Sinabung, which is a volcano of Indonesia located in North Sumatra Island, has erupted. Next is that on August 12, World Elephant Day was celebrated, and the idea is to create awareness and protect the elephants basically in Asian and African region. Next is that Project Cheetah has been revived. It was a part of the recommendation of Ajay Kumar committee, and under this project, the 90 Heron drones will be upgraded with laser guided bombs, air launched anti tank guided missiles, and air to ground anti tank guided missiles. Next is SC Supreme Court has given that the daughters will have equal right in parental property even in case where the father has died before the enactment of Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. Then 9 tribal freedom fighter museums are to be developed, and the largest of it will be in Rajpipla in Gujarat, and the second largest will be in Mizoram. Next, Kamala Harris, who is an Indian origin, has been nominated as vice presidential candidate in America. Then August 12 has also been celebrated as International Youth Day, and the theme was Youth Engagement for Global Action. Then Prime Minister Street Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi scheme has received 5 lakh applications from street vendors, where the aim of the government is to provide loan up to 10,000 to street vendors, and these nano entrepreneurs are to be encouraged. Then on 15th August, National Digital Health Mission has been launched, wherein every Indian is to get a health ID card which will contain all the relevant medical details and will also help in teleconsultation and e-pharmacies. On the same day, Prime Minister has launched optic fiber linking the Lakshadweep Island to the mainland of India as well as Andaman and Nicobar Island with the mainland of India. Israel and United Arab Emirates have entered into a peace pact, which is also called Abraham Accord, and India ranks first in organic farming. And as far as area under organic farming is concerned, India ranks ninth in the world. Now, Atal Tunnel, which will be joining the Manali and Leh and reducing the distance between them by 46 kilometers, it will be inaugurated by Prime Minister by the end of September 2020. And Mauritius, which is facing a crisis due to oil spillage, has been sent technical as well as material help by India under the Mission Sagar scheme. Thank you, friends.